Namaste, my galactic family. This is Angel Asim, Mohrephoh from umehllohzohreh, Pleiadian consciousness here for you, my galactic family. This is continuum for the last film we did yesterday. I designed the films, my galactic family, through help of my higher self in a continuum fashion. So they're all films of Pleiadian Mohrephoh films on all 11 different YouTube channels are like a chain reaction. They're all connected. All rings of the chain are connected. Each film is connected, my galactic family. I mentioned before, my galactic family, so many times about aspects of the universe and the perspective of this dimension and parallel realities, parallel universes. The channeler you know as Bashar, like I mentioned before, those hybrid races been created by evil humans, my galactic family. You know, from this timeline going into so-called into the future, they distorted, they manipulated the human DNA so much that beautiful human being turned out to be a big fly, a big bug, if you will, yeah? So you see what the deep state, what those demonic Zionist Jews, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all those bankers, you know, Vatican, you know, there's a lot of them in Washington, London. They're about to be finished, all of them. It's done. If you know about the laws I mentioned in previous film about the laws of the universes, it's finished for them. It's done. It's done deal. It's done deal. But what I'm referring to in this film, my galactic family, is that far future, you call the alien, you call the gray, and this is a human being coming from this timeline. And I'm speaking in detail in previous films why it's so important, why they coming to all parallel realities and start helping. They start helping all of those parallel realities to not go through the same thing what they went through. I speak about this in previous films. Look that up in previous films, my galactic family. You will connect a big dots. But in this film, I will extend your understanding, your overstanding, your understanding in such a fashion that to any being connected to your higher self can only give you channelings. What is your consciousness ready for? What does that mean? Your consciousness is ready through your experiences, through your reincarnations, and the connectivity. Remember, this is very important. The connectivity with your parallel realities. This is very important, my galactic family. So imagine the corrupt, evil human beings who turn out the beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful human being, this beautiful world, this beautiful life. They've been so corrupted, so evil, and so out of sync from Prime Creator, from their passions, from their emotions, from connecting with Gaia Sophia. They've been so disconnected, my galactic family, that they turn out this beautiful, gorgeous creature as a human being, and they created a bug. Come on, the rocket scientists will understand that something went completely wrong here. When you look at previous films, you know exactly why that happened. But I'm referring to that any being can only you can only channel from your higher self what is your experience of your consciousness from this filter, because every life is a filter. Every life perspective you have is a filter from all your para-realities, all your experiences, where you are connected. It's not what you remember your reincarnation, doesn't matter, because they are all in existence right now. It's how many you are connected to is very, very important. So let me give you an example. So those evil, corrupt humans, they manipulated their DNA, their frequency, coming out from this gorgeous human being, creature, human being, and they manipulated, they morphed themselves to be a huge bug you call as an alien, you call as a gray. So they've been so corrupted, and they've been so out of sync from the core of their connectivity with their pararealities, with their higher self. That's why they could not reproduce. They could not have children anymore. It's a finish line for them. That's why they tunnel themselves to pararealities to take viral DNA, to continuum, to create continuum of their species. So they created how many? 5 hybrid races. And half of the new species they created, those 5 hybrid races. So half of DNA, it's a viral, clean, healthy DNA. Before Fauci and before Bill Gates start putting juices into people. Remember, grace didn't come this time after Anthony Fauci and Bill Gates. That grace didn't come now when Anthony Fauci gave you candies and Bill Gates gave you juices in the syringes. They didn't follow themselves because they know that's the corruption. That's the corruption of the DNA. The grace first, when they came to abduct people, to take a vital DNA to create continuum for their race, they came back and they tunneled themselves before Anthony Fauci and before Bill Gates. Did that tell you something here, or I'm missing something here? So for those who are truly, truly awakened, you know exactly what we're talking here. Where are we going here? Where are we going here, Angelosine? Where are we going here? Bear with me, my galactic family. Bear with me. Why is it so important I'm referring to this scenario right now? Because, like you know the channeler named Daryl Anka, he's giving channelings from a so-called a creature, Bashar, yeah, from the far future. And this being is from a new hybrid race, the Grace created, with their half of their DNA and half of a viral, clean humanoid DNA. They combined the aspects of those 2 frequencies and created hybrid race. But no, my galactic family, the Daryl Anka gave you channelings from so-called what I just mentioned. You can only download information. Your higher self is so responsible. It can only give you information what you are ready for, what your experience is, where you connected to all pararealities. So I'm not saying the Bashar civilization is evil and they giving you evil information. I'm not saying this. I'm going to say it up front. So for those who are, filtering things through negative vibe, you're going to be like, whoa, what are you saying here? I only saying that the half of the DNA of this new hybrid races they created, even if they have a good intentions, still they're not going to tunnel information. It's purely good for everybody. It's always going to be 50-50, my galactic family. You know, you see where we're coming with this, my galactic family. One more time. I'm not saying they mentioning evil information. They're not giving you right information. I don't say that. What I'm saying too is that because they are hybrid races and they've been created with manipulation of DNA, of a very, imagine you putting a DNA of the most corrupt human being ever existed with a viral DNA, with a viral clean DNA of human being, and you created hybrid race from that frequency. What frequency you gonna pull to that being? So every time this so-called Bashar give you information, he have to be really, really, that's why a lot of times he's not allowed to tell you things, because he knows that his higher self can deliver information to help you in this timeline, so you're not gonna go the route the Grace went to, and that's the timeline as it is, as we say. And they're all the closest to this timeline. They're all timelines going towards Grace. That's why they are helping. They slicing all the timelines to help and assist my galactic family. I speak in detail about this in previous films. Look it up, my galactic family. So a lot of times Bashar going to tell you it's not the appropriate time, or it's he's not he don't want to say a lot of things. And now even a lot of times he's going to tell you a small lies just to see, are you truly listening what their civilization are telling you, or you're going to buy into anything they're going to tell you? Because it's about waking you up, not creating gods and you listen to them and you practice something. No, they are only designed to prolong the gray alien, to prolong their attitude, to prolong their species in a different format, coming back to square one, if you will. Those 5 hybrid races are balancing out what mistake those evil human beings did. How they've been disconnected from Prime Creator, from Gaia Sophia, from your emotions, from spirituality. They've been so out of sync from that those 5 hybrid races are balancing out the act they did towards the universe. See where we're coming with this. So that's why a lot of times Daryl Anka, the gentleman as he's giving channelings from the Bashar, he is not allowed to tell you a lot of things, because his higher self, Bashar higher self, knows that 50% of his frequency is connecting to all pararealities with evil deeds, evil humans who turn a beautiful creature to look like a bug. You see, we were coming with this, my galactic family. So that's why I'm referring this information to let you know that a lot of times they are not allowed to tell you things. And a lot of times they don't even know how to deliver to you. You notice one thing, a lot of times when Daryl Anka will give you channelings, and you notice when you're going to start observing, you're going to see that he's always mentioning that it's his passion. That's what he loves to do. He's first contact specialist. Yeah, that's his passion. If you're first contact specialist and this is your passion, and you emanate frequency of lack of patience, did you notice that? If you are a master in your craft, if you're a master, my galactic family, as a first contact specialist, This is what I'm saying here, my galactic family, that half of their, even those 5 hybrid races were designed to reverse, to create balance of the distortion the evil humans did to turn out this beautiful creature, human being, to look like a bug, as a gray alien, yeah? Even though those beings, my galactic family, been created with a new frequency, new mentality, still, even if their higher self can communicate through that being to their past version of themselves, only through a big distortion. That's why they have to be very careful what they're saying. And they're not allowed a lot of times to tell you things. You notice how many times the Bashar says it's not the right time, because a lot of times they don't want to tell you, because it's going to be too evil for you. Because half of the frequency of the Eshakani frequency, their pararealities they're connecting to are to those the most evil humans you could think of. What they did to the world, what they did here to mankind, to turn this beautiful creature, human being, to look like a bug. Come on. Do we need rocket scientists to understand this? So, what I'm referring to, my galactic family, I'm not saying that they are evil. They're actually helping. But a half of their frequency is evil, and half of their frequency is good. And they're starting from that frequency by helping the parallel realities, by helping us they tunnel themselves to go back in time, when they're all beginning stages of turning beautiful human being to be distorted, a bug, as an alien gray. They tunnel themselves to all those timelines, to all pararealities, not only this one. All pararealities are connected to this scenario. And by helping us, they are actually learning. Do you know that? Because actually, why even Bashar mentioned making statement, you opening more doors than you asking a question. Because when you ask a question, they can only tunnel the information from the evil scenarios they are connected to the Eshakani, Esasani civilization. But when you make a statement, my galactic family, it's more flexible frequency, and they can tap into the side of this good side of the DNA, of the lineage of the DNA been taken out from when Grace took somebody, they took their DNA, and they can only remember they can only tunnel and give you channelings from the experiences the DNA is connected to, all pararealities, and which version of themselves are connected to what part of the parareality. Very, very important. So, because I'm saying this only to remind you, to guide you, my galactic family, because a lot of you are focused so much on UFO, on the channelings, and all of those aspects that you actually forgot about the truth. And I'm here to remind you, my higher self is Archangel Asim. God Prime Creator sent 7 humongous angels, one in each continent. I am one of them, my galactic family. I can tell you things Bashar is not allowed to tell you. Why is that? I just told you why. I am in a class with you here. That's why I can whisper to you. I can tell you I am here with you. I reincarnated here for you and for the entire of creation. And even, the gentleman who gives channelings from Cryon. Yes? Lee Carroll. Lee Carroll is connected through pararealities. That's why he was chosen by higher self to be connected to that group, Cryon group. But I am actually a physical embodiment of Cryon frequency, because we are masters. We are Cryon. It's like for understanding purposes only from this dimension. If you look at a Cryon frequency, what is that? It's not only one being. It's thousands upon thousands of master souls came together and created a club, as a Cryon. So not even Cryon can mention those things I can deliver to you directly. They can give you hints. Already Bashar and Cryon already give you everything what I am screaming and talking to you for so many years. But they can give you only in hints. I am allowed to give it to you every time for so many years, repeating the same information and the same truth to you in variety of frequencies. Because I'm here with you. I am downloaded here with you in this dimension. So Bashar, I'm not saying Bashar, they actually by helping this dimension, they actually are learning themselves. You know that? They are coming back to their bearings, and through helping us, they are connecting to their higher self, and like this, I can understand more what really happened to human beings who turn out to be such a beautiful humanoid, and by corrupt humans, they manipulated so much the frequency, they turn out this beautiful human being to be like a gray alien, look like a bug, like a big bug. So see, by creating those 5 hybrid races, they are reflecting the positivity from that evil act. And through that 50% of good act of all of those hybrid races, because remember, why is 50-50? Because even the hybrid race has been created 50 from evil, 50 from good. Yes? So it have to be this way, my galactic, because you have to know that even those parallel realities who are even more evil than this one, because this timeline we are on right now, my galactic family, this is 50% evil. It's not 60% evil. It's not 40% evil. It's 50-50. There are parallel realities where evil is 70% and 30% is goodness in the world. And see, we are on the timeline 50-50. And it's always in any scenario, in any species, in any beings, any dimension, when you want to help any parallel universe, any parallel realities, or any species anywhere, you are starting from the timelines of 50-50. Because like this, you can, when you are in the middle, in a balance point of any dimension, whatever occurred, yeah, you can help equally the good side and the evil side. Because by helping us, not going through again what the Greys did, what happened to those evil humans, turn out this beautiful human being to turn out to look like a gray alien, like a bug, because they're helping us, they're actually helping the majority of those parallel realities who are more evil than this dimension. They bring this information and this experience by helping us to the parallel realities who are more evil than this one. That's why a lot of times they cannot tell you they already, like I told you, they already told you the truth, but they cannot tell you every time, because it will be against the law of their species, because they are by helping the past of themselves, by helping the past of themselves, of their DNA, they have to be very, very flexible, my galactic family. Very, very flexible. That's why I'm referring this information to grab your attention, to remind you that don't forget about the first channeler. It's first prophet, Adam. That's the first channeler from this frequency. From this frequency. Actually, to helping and assisting with what you woke up to now. For those brothers and sisters who see this film first time, and my films, Pleiadian Mohrephoh films, my galactic family, whatever you woke up to now, anybody, anywhere in any country, anything you woke up to now and see what is really happening in the world, it's already happened. Already happened. We are back in time to help and assist. And the first channeler, my galactic family, it's Adam. And don't forget, my galactic family, all the prophets from Solomon, David, Moses, Abraham, Jesus, Muhammad, they're all channelers, my galactic family. And they've been all designed to give you the truth. The Quran already told you. Bashar already told you. But they cannot repeat so many times as the prophets, as the earth angels. If that was so easy, so simple, why God Almighty sends so many earth angels and so many prophets? You tell me. But you only focus, you telling me, oh, I'm not religious, Angel Asim, I'm more spiritual. If you have this mentality, you are clueless. You have no idea. You have no idea. Let me remind you, for those who have no idea, there is only one God Almighty who gave everybody identical message. They put the different color shirt, they call it differently, and they call it different religion, but it's actually one and identical message to everybody. Now is the question, who is actually practicing? There's only one sector of beings in this flat earth who are actually practicing what is really written by every prophet. Every prophet. Prophet Adam, Solomon, David, Moses, Abraham, Jesus, Muhammad, and all the rest. They're only Sunni Muslims. That's why you see why the system, why the evil ones are showing Islam as the evil, because they are the purest, they are the best, they are the first souls to go to heaven. They are the first ones. You know, for Sunni Muslims, there is no day of judgment. God was gonna snap his fingers, they're already gone. They're already in paradise. Actually, the judgment day, when you are waiting for judgment day, that's when it's gonna finish. Halas, done deal. The long run, I told you already, 2,000 years, for last 2,000 years, that was the judgment day. But the accuracy, if you want a true accuracy, the judgment day started from the first prophet, because he is a channeler from the first prophet, Adam. That's when the clocks start ticking. And this, from day one, when God Almighty, Prime Creator, sent Adam to this dimension, he already knew what's going to happen. You already knew we're already, because it already happened. It already happened. That's why God Almighty is sending to every new timeline different kind of help. This dimension, we got prophets, and second dimension, we got channelers. Third dimension, we got angels, and walk-ins, and what have you. It's all one soup. It's all connected. I'm saying this so you're not going to be only focused on the channelers, because don't forget about the prophets. You only are confused, and you're not practicing what God Almighty mentioned to you, because you've been lied by the devil. because devil took the Bible and created Christianity. Walk to any synagogue anywhere in the world, to Jewish synagogue. Walk and ask any Orthodox Jews. They're going to tell you that Christianity is a Jewish sect. Don't get me started on Catholic Church about those pedophiles. This is done deal. Because of so much corruption by demons and devils and corrupt humans who are working for those archons and their evil ones. And by the way, they are finished. It's done. It's done deal. Last whispers from the devils. Trust me. Look at previous films. I'm speaking about when on the tombstone you will have Matrix died. You look at previous films. And start with Linda Jackson, Pleiadian Mohrephoh films. You will see where I'm coming from. My galactic family. I am here with you. I am Earth Angel, true Earth Angel. By watching my films, you will know who is lying, who is telling you the truth. You will never ever have to worry what I listen to, what I don't listen to. You're not even going to bother about those things. Because I told you all the secrets in all Pleiadian Mohrephoh films. Look at them, my galactic family. Look through all Pleiadian Mohrephoh films. I told you everything you need to know to be ready. So, I can deliver to you more information, give you more information than Bashar himself. And ask him and he will confirm this for you. And with Cryon, the same thing. Because I am a true Cryon frequency embodiment. Plus, I am Archangel Asim. In that club, Cryon club, you call Cryon frequency. There's a lot of masters. You think it's only one Cryon giving you channelings all the time, but actually he's tapping into all of those masters who are in that club. But it's in a way it's going through one being, yeah, but he's tapping in telepathically to all of those who are in the club. But I am here. I'm a physical embodiment of Cryon frequency on Earth. Write to Lee Carroll, gave you channelings about Pleiadian Mohrephoh films, about Angel Asim. He will tell you exactly what I am telling you. So it's not like the Bashar is hiding information. They already told you gently. They can only tell you gentlest way possible this information. The same information what Bashar can gently give you, Cryon even stronger can give you this information than Bashar, you know that? But I can scream this information. See the difference? So listen to me, my galactic family. Because I am true Earth Angel. I am here with you, my galactic family. I don't want you to be those brothers and sisters when the day of judgment is going to be finished. You're going to be like, why I didn't listen to Angel Asim? I knew him for so long and I didn't even bother listening. I don't want you to be that brother or sister. Look again, go back. Look again at all Pleiadian Mohrephoh films and share them with all brothers and sisters. Very, very important time now. I'm speaking, look, previous films. I'm speaking about year 2026, 2027. You have information on this channel and Linda Jackson Pleiadian Mohrephoh films. So you see, it's each being can only deliver you information from their higher self with the strict rules. What parareality that being was connected, what his DNA, where his DNA was taken from, what part of society, what parallel realities that DNA is connected to, the experiences, the reincarnations, and connecting that with the evil human DNA in a far future to create a hybrid race. That's why they can deliver you information in the most gentler way possible. See now, you see what are we saying here? Kryon is a little bit closer to deliver to you what Bashar cannot. He's not allowed to tell you a lot of things. He is not, even if he wanted to. He a lot of times you'll notice a lot of times he will tell you it's not the time. It's not right the time. It's always going to be any excuse not to tell you. And even if they have good intentions, because that's a new hybrid race, still evil. Half of their frequency is based on evil. Even if they will never, ever, ever do nothing wrong, they have to right to admit that frequency. Because if they emitting the frequency of half of evil and half of good, their timeline and their civilization, they will always know where they came from. That's why they went from 5D to 6D, from 50-50, 50 energy, 50 mass, they went to quasi-physical. But actually it's the other way around. And I'm gonna finish this film with this information. Like I mentioned before, my galactic family, that the most solid, the most firm, the most solid being in the entire of creations is Prime Creator, is God Almighty. He's the most solid. Remember, a lot of channelers are going to tell you that the description, how the mechanics of the creation, that this one particle, in a way it's the truth in a way. It's not accurate truth, but for the beings who want or need to understand through this avenue is very healthy. Sometimes even if we're gonna deliver information to you and it's not accuracy, it's not actually exactly what is happening, we're gonna go slightly a little bit on a different angle, because a lot of times the way we deliver information, it will be more benefit for you to understand this from this corner, from this avenue, than to know directly how everything is designed and is made. See where we're coming with this, my galactic family. So I mentioned that before in previous films, but now I can tell you the true mechanics of entire of creation. Please listen to me with your heart. Before they mentioned to you that a Prime Creator created this one particle, and this one particle jumps a billion times per second through all parallel realities, parallel universes, and with such a speed that actually it can be everywhere at the same time, doesn't matter how far from each other. That was description before. And it's in a way, it's a very creative expression of the universe, but it's not actually accurate what is actually happening. But it's beautiful. It's in a way, it is true in a way, by the way the soul interacts with the creation. That's the truth. And after all I'm going to mention to you, you will know exactly where we're coming with this. But the truth is like this. Listen to me, my galactic family. Prime Creator, it's outside of entire of creations. Outside. A lot of channelers are going to tell you there's nothing outside of creations. That's a baloney. Outside of entire of all the creations, my galactic family, there is prime creator, God Almighty. And by the way, God is a female frequency, feminine frequency. Even that we Pleiadians, we call prime creator, we call the grandfather. But it's actually the most accurate description of God Almighty, it's our grandmother. Because the way you describe prime creator, it helps to, what I just told you, what experience, what connectivity with pararealities, that's how your higher self can download information through you, and you can spread that information out. And exactly what we're doing here, we're doing the same thing for pararealities as well. So my galactic family, imagine every parallel universe. Imagine every parallel universe. It's humongous void. Humongous. It never ends. A space which never ends. Never. It's no beginning, no end. It is what it is. It's the one universe. And in each universe, my galactic family, prime creator puts only one particle from himself to each universe. I'm not talking about parallel reality. I'm talking about the universe, my galactic family. So in every parallel universe, God Almighty sends only one particle. Only one particle. And this so-called Big Bang, what happens? That prime creator spins very quickly that one particle in googolplex of frequencies. The explosion is only, it's a metaphor. It's not an explosion, but it's a humongous expansion of manipulation of frequencies with such a force and such a speed, it's beyond your comprehension, my galactic family. So this happens in a split second. Imagine the speed. Imagine universe. There are parallel universes. It goes forever. It never begins and never ends. So imagine how big that is. And we're only talking about one universe. And that so-called Big Bang is that manipulation, is that one particle. God Almighty puts intention in that particle to connect that particle with the intention of Prime Creator, his imagination, his passion, his creativity. And each universe been given different so-called different particle, but they're of course connected to the one source. So we can say that all of those particles are an identical particle. It's like every species are different, but we have the same soul. Doesn't matter if you're an ant or human or dinosaur. We are all one big family because we have the same soul, my galactic family. Because it came where? From the same source. We are all one, yeah, in that sense. So, in each different universe, God Almighty put a spin on that particle in a totally random frequency. But imagine the speed of that particle when in zigzag frequency, when in such a different patterns in each different universe, the same particle did the same thing on different universe and different pattern and different pattern and different pattern. But that happened in a split second, my galactic family. God Almighty put a spin on that particle in a split second, and it froze everything. Imagine an entire of creation is like a jello. Like a jelly, yeah? Like a jelly, yeah? Humongous. and you're putting light, and it's transparent. Jelly's transparent, yeah? Jello, jelly, what do you want to call it? You put a light through it. It's transparent, yeah? You put a light through it. You see different angles, different patterns. That's what God Almighty is doing. It's like, imagine universe is like a humongous ball, and you put a flashlight through into that ball, and imagine ball it's made from glass, yeah, and you're putting light through that water in that ball, and every angle you're gonna you're gonna do a picture, you're gonna have a different design, different pattern, and this is what God Almighty did with the entire creation. In each universe, this one particle did a zigzag, did a frequency pattern in googolplex of different modality zigzags you can even think of, my galactic family. That's one universe. And in one universe, how many parallel realities? They go forever. So that happened in split second, my galactic family. And everything froze. God Almighty put a spin on every particle. This one particle is only one particle God Almighty gave from himself to each universe. One particle. And that one particle did a zigzag. But God Almighty put that zigzag very quickly, and the pattern was created, and God Almighty stopped everything. And what happens now? When God Almighty created first archangels, and God Almighty told humongous archangels, go out and create and bring all back to me again. So archangels, they went to entire of creation to seed those voids, those universes, parallel realities, with consciousness. And through flying of the angels through creation, listen to this, my galactic family. From flying of the archangels through any of creation, because when Prime Creator told the archangels, go out and create and bring everything back to me, it didn't stop. It's so huge. They are still on a go. Those angels are still on a go. Yeah. So they're going to go forever because, God Almighty told them, go out and create and bring all back to me. So they are still imagining by those archangels flying with such a speed through all parallel universes, and each time they pass through every parallel universe, they leave a spark of their consciousness in places where this one particle been zigzagging more than 1 or 3 times in this one specific spot. And those particles, where the Prime Creator put a spin on the particle, and when they most align in some spots, they are working like a magnet towards consciousness. And the particles who collide on the same path, they create the matter, yeah? The frequency, the wave becomes a physical matter. When the particle is, jumping billion times per second to one spot in one location, variable in entire creation. And this particle sequence, when it crosses itself more than 3, 4, 5 times in the same place, so-called the same place, it works like a magnet for consciousness. So For those archangels flying through entire of creation, they leaving their consciousness, seeding their consciousness in all of those places where that one particle cross more than 3-4 times in one so-called point in time. And that itself is jumping billion times per second through pararealities, creating another parallel universe and another formation and another frequency. So to understand this from the spirit point of view, actually nothing is in existence, not in every universe. Imagine this, my galactic family. In each universe is empty, completely empty, completely empty. Each universe only have a portion of angelic consciousness connected to Prime Creator and only one particle from God Almighty. It's empty. Every universe is empty. So why there's a trees, there's oceans, there's stars, there's everything. There's the richness of creation. What are you saying here, Angelcine? By your consciousness jumping billion times through parallel realities, you are creating the illusion of movement and physicality. By your consciousness jumping, you're jumping so quickly to parallel realities, my galactic family, that from that void empty universe, which in each universe there's only one particle, you jumping so quickly through all pararealities that you actually, the way your intention, the way you've been designed, how the God Almighty created archangels, how archangels created angels, how angels create beings, light beings, lower beings and lower beings and lower beings and what have you, and you are here as a connectivity, as a chain reaction. So because, my galactic family, you jumping so quickly, and what's written in your DNA, that's what you're going to experience. Even if each universe is a snapshot, each universe is static, there's no movement. Every parallel reality, every parallel universe, my galactic family, is static, no movement. And that's another proof how free is your spirit, my galactic family. That through this act, God Almighty is proving to every soul that no matrix will ever... That's illusion the matrix is holding you. It's an illusion. Because every universe is empty. It's nothing. It's void. It's nothing in there. By you swimming, flying through with such a speed that there is no speed, it's like your consciousness can be everywhere at the same time. I'm talking about the speed. That's how quick you are. And by your design, how you are flying through parallel universes, that's what you're going to experience on your path. Because you're grabbing by jumping billion times per second through pararealities, you are grabbing all those particles on your path. Oh, you see a tree, you see a rock, you see a planet, you see where we're coming with this, my galactic family. This is how powerful you are. I'm mentioning this from this avenue so you know exactly how powerful. Don't never forget how powerful you are. And remember, look previous films, because each previous film to the one you're watching is a chain reaction, like I told you before. Look through all Pleiadian Mohrephoh films, and you will, my galactic family, you will see the big picture. Because I already told you so many times, my galactic family. So you see how that goes. It's beautiful. I'm there on TikTok. You can use the messenger on TikTok. If you want to talk to me, my galactic family, I'm there waiting for you. Listen a couple times to each film, my galactic family, because I designed the frequency of every Pleiadian Mohrephoh film is designed, created with curiosity vibration. I am a Renegade member, Family of Light Systems Buster, available for altering systems of consciousness within Free Will Universe on call. I love you, my galactic family. Namaste.